Namaste and welcome to Tune in Frequency. My name is Jeena and I'm super happy that you are here today with me. And let's get going with the sound bowl. We are going to take a deep breath in through our nose and breathe out through our mouth. This way we are able to let go of all the tension in our body. Just imagine your breath kind of streaming in, cleansing all the tension, and you're letting it out. And this way you will be open and ready to receive the frequency. All right, let's go. Let's breathe first. Two more times. All right, let's tune in. Okay, so the first one started off super quiet, and there was something that joined in the first sounds. It started to build, and the more it was building, another energy, like a bigger energy, something joined it in. And while that was kind of going higher and higher, that was kind of lifting. I want to say uplifting also. There was something else. I want to say it was like a sparkle, but in sound, if that makes any sense. And I would definitely say that your, not just like your higher self is tuning in with you this week. I would say that it's your spirit team this time, because it wasn't just like the energy of one. It was like a very united energy. So if you haven't heard anything about like spirit teams yet, I will make sure that I will record a video about that. But maybe you have heard about a spirit guide, and your spirit team usually also involves like your guardian angels. It can be relatives that passed away. Those together kind of make up your spirit team. And I feel like that at the moment you are surrounded by them. And as I was saying, like it started off like super quiet. So make sure that you sit in silence and you create spaces for them to meet you. Whatever that looks to you, maybe you're not the kind of person who sits in meditation. Maybe you are the kind of person that goes into nature and kind of celebrates that meeting, like that. So whatever you feel called to, when the moment when you ask yourself the question, like, how can I meet my spirit team this week? And just go with the first impulse that you get. All right. Okay, what I heard was some kind of longing, and it seems like you are being pulled to other places. Maybe you make a plan to travel, something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a long distance travel. It can just be like a weekend in another city, but nevertheless, you feel pulled outside from your usual environment, and it goes along with this feeling of longing. So you're longing for something new, something, maybe even something unfamiliar. Maybe you're longing for the unknown, especially if you have been in places and in circles where you know everything and everyone, and you know like what your life looks like, and there's some part of you that longs for that new mm, that new place or that new face that you're about to meet. All right. All right. So the last one was very, I want to say, eerie. If you're a Game of Thrones watcher, you kind of have a feeling for what that means. This was very, like, I want to say heavenly. If you don't believe in heaven or hell, what I always say is like, we got heaven and hell both on earth. We get to experience that. So we do have the opportunity to kind of um, create both of that, create heaven or create hell on earth. This last frequency felt very warm, very, yeah, heavenly. If there's something you can do to create that, like go to a place that is sacred to you, or create that kind of place like at your home. If you go to church, maybe you want to go to church. If you, I don't know, if like there's a tree that is sacred to you, you want to go there, or whatever your connection is. I would definitely recommend places in nature, because nature has so many temples that are just natural. But yeah, make it make it something that you really have, that really comes from within you and not necessarily from the outside. Like, you know, your parents always went to church, or your parents always went to the mosque. Whatever you feel called into, go there. All right. Since last week, I did a reading with the Ocean Dreams deck. Today I have another deck in store for you. This is the Shaman deck. If you are able to read German, then it's das schamanische Seelenorakel. It's just one of those decks that I truly love. I rarely use this because, like the experience of that I had with ayahuasca, the shaman deck is like very nature based, and since today also nature came up a lot, and especially this connection, this innate connection came up a lot. It feels very fitting that this deck was chosen by me to use for today. So let's go into the tarot card and let's see what shaman messages we're getting for this week. This shaman deck actually includes many different cultures, which I absolutely love. And yeah, these cards are really powerful, and I just love the drawing. It is very earth-based, I would say. Last week we were very water-based. Yeah, let's just see. If you are watching this now, please support me a little bit by just placing your hand on your heart and just connecting to your heart. All right. The first card that we got is the rainbow. It came up in reverse, so let me put it like that. We're going to pull 2 more cards for this week. See, I told you to put your hand on your heart and it immediately worked. Every deck kind of has a different way of like letting the cards come out. So sometimes it's just like feeling into like what that looks like or what that feels like. Okay. We got the arrow. And we got the path of beauty. So let's look at the first card. As I've said, I was talking about the rainbow, and this rainbow card doesn't just include the rainbow, but it also has something like a shell in it. And when there's a shell, you want to listen closely, and then I can only guess what kind of bird that is. It looks like a very colorful bird, which doesn't seem like a bird I've ever seen before, but a mixture of like a fasan and a canary bird. And there's also like the moon. So if you've seen my video before, I would talk about the colors of the rainbow and our feelings being like a spectrum of light. So this to me feels like a lot of like, let all those colors within you shine. And these colors might show up after really gray and rainy day, but your emotions gonna pull through and they're gonna let you fly. So this is the message of the rainbow for this week. The number is the 41. So we got the 4, stability, and 1, the alignment, and together they form 5, which is freedom. And it's very funny with the other cards because we got 3 here, 4 here, and this is basically a 5. So it's pretty cool there. Kind of building on each other. So the next one we have the arrow, and the moon, I want to say, is like a reoccurring theme. So we got a big moon here, a smaller part of the moon, and here it's there as well, but it's more like in the background. And with the arrow, we think of like masculine energy and us thinking of like a goal and creating the path for what we want to create and what we're aiming for. There are these like beautiful splitters, I want to say. You see these, like these glowing kind of pieces. And remember what I've said about the very first frequency that we heard with the sound bowl? It feels like that this is just the visualization of the sound that came in. That was like really, I said it sounds like a sparkle. So this is the sparkle I was talking about. So I told you like the 3 is also important, and the 3 stands for expression. So when you have your goal set, you want to express with all of your gifts, with your voice, with your with every artistic way, I want to say, that makes up you. Express yourself. And make sure that you get like all the colors of the rainbow and use that rainbow to create that arrow to reach that goal. And then the path of beauty, der Weg der Schönheit, that is going to unfold. You might see that there is like a dragonfly in here, and the dragonfly is also a beautiful beautiful symbol for transformation. Again, I see those shells in there, so there's like a little like underwater energy with it, because we have the lotus here, right? And the lotus that the lotus kind of blooms like coming out of the mud, and then it unfolds, and it usually only blooms for a day, and it passes by, it goes back into the water, and then the next flower actually blooms from the same lotus. So my pure selenite. Don't think that you're only blooming once, but your rainbow and the arrow will help you bring that blooming energy come to life, bring that out in you, bring all the beauty out. And you just make sure that you're listening. You're listening very carefully to all that wants to be